right, here's my question for the day. Now, like a question for the day. I can't guarantee like an answer for the day, but here's my question for the day. We've got a bunch of small jobs, you know, like just a bunch of little things gonna fill up the day. And I did one of them already. It was to mark a fence, you know, like mark where I'm gonna build the fence. The utility companies know where to mark their lines, so when I dig the holes, I don't blow out the cable in the neighborhood, which I've done before. Kind of blows. People come out of their houses, you know, they're all zooming and stuff, and they can't access the internet. All right, so I did one job, and I'm going to the next one. But here's my question for the day. The question is, it's kind of like a two-part question. Are you happy in your job? That's number one. That's like the first part. It's like the preamble. Are you happy in your job, and do you need to be happy in your job? All right, first dealio is a pruning job back in there. How am I gonna get back in there? Oh, Fifi, dropping one. I built this coop for these guys like, what, maybe like a year ago. Oh, the chickens are in the compost. So, you know, like YouTube is like the ultimate like big job platform, you know? It's like doing something epic. It ends up getting a lot of views and people dig it or whatever, but you know, some days for me doing trees and stuff, it's just like this, you know? You gotta do some marking in the morning, do a pruning job later in the day. It's like chill, small jobs. All right, so that's what I pruned out. Just a little pile of stuff, and I've got more room in the trailer for the next one. All right, so like 1 block away from that pruning job, there's a dude up here with a fence that I told him I would build him a fence in the fall. Freaking wood supplies were toasted. There was no fencing wood anywhere, so I gotta look at his fence and measure it, do a little measuring. And oh look, we got a little tree crew up ahead. You guys are just cutting on stuff. Okay, fence is right over here. So basically it's this red fence, and he just wants it extended in the same style. So I just gotta measure a few things, check out those pickets, because I'm gonna have to custom make those things, and I should be good. We just got like an unusual shape to them. So that wasn't like a job so much as like a measurement dealio, where I had, you know, like seen that fence months ago, and I just need to know exactly how wide the pickets are, what shape they are, how many per foot, and all that stuff, so I can buy the right stuff. I think I'm building that fence in like 4 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. And so I would say that while there are many things I completely just dig about the tree job thing, you know, and building fences, there's some things that kind of get under my skin. For one, I am not the best massive multitasker scheduler kind of guy, and right now like stuff's really busy, warmed up, and everybody wants stuff done, so I've got to schedule out the wazoo, like, you know, every hour of the day and 4 weeks in advance or whatever. So, you know, that's the stuff you don't see. Like in a regular video, I'm up chopping a tree, or someone's, you know, doing some work, you're like, oh, the job is cutting a tree down. But really the job is like talking to people, placing a bid, going to get all your gear, buying new saws, sharpening everything, you know, it just kind of goes on and on and on. And then finally, end of all that scheduling, you cut the tree down. Next job is kind of a return to the scene of the crime. The other day I took out these 6 pine trees and I didn't get it all cleaned up. So I got a lot of firewood here, all nicely cut. Look at that, someone cut it for me. Anyway, I gotta throw that stuff in the trailer. I think with this job, one of the things you end up asking yourself and kind of like thinking about is, what is your relationship with like the mundane, you know, like the everyday simple stuff. Nothing complicated or abstract about throwing logs in a trailer. It's gotta be the most basic thing you could possibly do with your time. And you know, it's a workout, so that's kind of cool. You know, you get paid to work out, as people say. But you know, mundane stuff can drive some people freaking bonkers. You know, just meaningless, mundane, moving wood around. You know, it's like, it drives some people crazy. But some of us have a kind of, oh, what do I say? Like a restorative relationship with the mundane. Like you do some mundane stuff, and it kind of feeds your soul. So, you know, you might be like somebody who has got to do something like important with your time. Maybe not important, but you know, like you want to help the world, or you want to do something really like complicated, or just like make some kind of breakthrough or something. But parts of this job, parts of it, not all of it, but a large part of this job, it's just like what you see right here. You know, you're taking logs and you're moving them from one place to the other. And then I can drive and move them back to my place, where I can move them again and then split them and move them again. So, you know, it's kind of simple stuff. Alright, so the logs are loaded. That one's pure log, so I can drop it off in my firewood stash. And I think that's load number 4 on this job. I think it was 3 loads of brush, 1 load of logs. It's good to go. So the question on the day is, do you like your job? You know, do you like what you do? Is it fun, enjoyable, rewarding, and all that stuff? And you might think that a day like today, for me, which is, you know, like some running around, nothing epic. You know, a little pruning in a house, you know, hang out, talk to the dude, that was fun. Some loading, you know, just like trying to wrap something up that I started a couple days ago. You might think that was kind of a downer, you know, like not the best. But actually, I'm pretty much good with it, you know. There's a weird satisfaction for me. It's just like, I'm just talking about myself. There's like a weird satisfaction in just getting out and just working, you know, like whatever. Just running a shovel, doing anything, I think it would get old. I think it would get old not to have, you know, something to really apply yourself to. And tree work is cool because it's full of, you know, like problems and questions you gotta solve, and, you know, unique situations that require just like a one-of-a-kind fix. So I think it would get old just, you know, doing what I did today forever. Man, that trailer's bouncing. But what about part 2 of the question? Part 2 being, does it matter? Do you have to like your job, be satisfied by it, love it? And I think when I was a younger fella, back in the day, those questions weren't really relevant. It was more like, if you can get a job, you do it. You know, if it's something you can do and you can get the job, you do it. But at this point, I've had some opportunities and, you know, things that I've kind of made happen in my life that I think I have the luxury of a job that I really enjoy. And I know that not everybody does. Also, some people really want the money associated with the job they hate. So, you know, it's like you hate the job, you're really not into it. It's not fulfilling or satisfying, whatever, but it kind of is because you like the money. So what you're doing doesn't really float your boat, you know, like day to day. You don't like hauling logs or whatever your logs are that you haul in your job, but you like the bank at the end of the day. So there's that to think about. Yeah, so on the to-do list is definitely split firewood, but it's kind of been on the list for a while. I gotta go over to one of my future fence jobs and talk to the lady, you know, just kind of make sure we're on the same page about the fence. So I gotta go over there, and then I've got to do a little run with the trailer, like a little compost run. Now this place is great. They got the outdoor dining thing going on, you know, like you can do outdoor dining, but they just completely closed it in. All right, fence house is right up here on the left. Oh man, we got the porta potty truck pulled over at the side of the road. All right, the compost has been dumped. Nice guy. He's doing this big old rehab gardening project thing, and I'm building some fences for him, which you will see in an upcoming video, like a big garden surround fence thing. Busted my butt out here a couple days ago, just putting in fence posts and hard ground and stuff. Anyway, it's just kind of like an ongoing project, and he needed some soil for the beds before I close off the beds with my fence. All right, with that load, I am done working for the day, pretty much. Got some stuff to do back at the shop, but you know, not too bad. And so what about this question? This question of happiness and employment. For me, I'm just gonna tell you right now that right now, it's lined up pretty good. I got a pretty good like overlay between like satisfaction quotient and employment work kind of stuff, you know. I dig it, but at the same time I know that is not always the case for everybody. Definitely has not always been the case for me, and you get by, you know. It's not that big a deal to have a job that you're kind of like you know, you're kind of like not super crazy about, because it's just part of your life. You do it, it's part of working and living and making a living and all that stuff. But it is cool when you can find the satisfaction in it, or when you can maximize the satisfaction at least a little bit. I think that's my answer to the question. I think it's necessary a little bit. If you have the opportunity, if you can have just a little bit of jam going on with your job, it's a good thing. Now YouTube tells me that people don't really watch the end of the video. You know, they've got like these analytics and stuff. People are watching and then just nobody watched the end of the video. But whatever, I'm just gonna say a couple things here at the end of the video. The first is that I just want to say thank you to people who, you know, like you throw down your support for my projects, my videos and stuff, you maybe leave a comment down below, throw me a high five on Instagram or something. There's even a few people, you know, throwing some cash my way on Patreon, Ko-fi. It's just so incredible to have people support you. Cannot tell you how awesome that is. So a thank you, a big thank you. And the other thing I should say, it's kind of like stating the obvious, but I'm just gonna say it. This is not a how-to video. It's not even close to a how-to video. There's no like steps to follow, DIY formula, none of that in this video. Do not mistake this for how-to. This is the story of how I did it on a day with some odd jobs and stuff, and work itself on the mind. All right, thanks for checking it out, and I'll see you in the next project.